And that policy would then double from 20 to 40,000. Okay. And then there's some companies that will offer a triple indemnity. And what that means is in the event you were to die from an accident on a paid transportation, that includes Uber, Lyft, American Airlines, Carnival Cruise Lines, Greyhound Bus, anything that's considered paid transportation that you actually pay to be transported on, there's a triple indemnity. So therefore, then your policy would it will triple from $20,000 to up to $60,000 that your family would receive.
So this is accidental death.
Mhm.
And if someone were to accidentally die in an Uber or other shared ride or on an airline, then the insurance will double benefit.
Correct. It's called a double indemnity. And basically, what that is just an accidental death benefit rider that comes along with a whole life policy at no additional cost, most times.
Okay, interesting. And so, how will I know, Tissany, that I have this on my life insurance?
Yes. So, this is why I like to do those free policy reviews. And this is when we schedule an appointment. I can come by, I can go over, we're going to pull out your policy, and then we're going to call the company. Because if it's not indicated in the policy, we want to call the company and ask them what is included in your insurance policy. So I'm going to go through a series of questions. I'm going to ask, are there any riders? Okay, that's first question. Are there any living benefits? Second question. And then we get into the cash value. Are there any loans? That type of thing. And then I'm going to verify with the company what we're looking at in terms of your insurance policy. Is that what you're actually paying for? Okay. And then last, I always ask, how long are you expected to pay for it? Surprisingly, some people say, oh, well, when I got the policy, I was told that I would only pay for it for a short period of time. Sometimes that's not the case. There are some instances where you are paying for an insurance policy for 100 years. I ran into somebody and they said, I got to pay for it till 21 night. I said, 21. First of all, I couldn't get my mind past because we're just in 2022.
Right.
So
This century.
So you're talking about a whole nother century?
Yeah.
Now, I know we were promised 125. I know that. But I was like, I still couldn't wrap my mind around it. I said, wait a minute. 21, 22? So when did you take this policy out? Well, they had taken it out last year, but they had that waiting period where before it went into full benefit. And so that's another thing. I want people to fully understand when you take out a life insurance policy and they say to you that there's a 2-year waiting period before it goes into full benefit. That means within that first 2 years, you don't have any coverage. Or, correction, in the event something were to happen to you, that insurance company will pay you what you've paid into it plus an additional 10%. So, in the event something were to happen to you and it was your time to go on to glory and you have passed, your family is not going to receive the full amount of that face amount of the policy. They're only going to receive what you've paid into it plus an additional 10%. So that's another reason why, again, those policy reviews are extremely important.
So then why is it like that? Is it because this is the type of insurance we chose? This is the plan we chose? Or is it the insurance company's way of cheating?
Well, A and B.
Okay.
A and B. And I say that because sometimes we're thrilled at the fact that, yes, we did something good. We took out a life insurance policy. We don't want our family to be concerned with having to pay for our final expense when it's our time. But what we haven't done was further educate ourselves as to what type of insurance policy it is and when it's going to go into effect. So a lot of times when I say to people, you're going to have immediate day one coverage after your initial premium has been paid. I make that very clear because there's some instances where other companies will say you have to wait 2 years before this goes into full effect.
Now that's kind of unheard of, waiting 2 years before your insurance policy comes in full effect. Okay, so then what happens in the meantime if something were to happen to someone?
In the meantime, if something were to happen, that company is only going to pay what you've paid into it and an additional 10%.
Okay.
And that 10% is because the money you've paid into it, it goes into an account and they're going to pay you 10% of the interest of your payments that money has drawn.
So then keywords we need to listen for, one of them would be 2-year or waiting period.
Waiting
we need
period.
to listen for that waiting period. And we need to listen for, we will only pay what you've put in plus 10%. So we need to listen for that as well.
Correct. So you want to listen for when you're taking out an insurance policy. First question you want to ask, is there a waiting period?
Okay.
Okay. Will this benefit go into full effect? Okay. Or you can ask it a different way. Will I have immediate day one coverage?
Okay.
Or another way to say it would be, when does this policy take effect?
Okay.
Okay. So this way there's no misconstrued. There's nothing that's going to be misunderstood. And you have a full understanding of what you are signing up for.
Okay.
And I'll say this, during this time of COVID, there was a lot of commercialism coming on TV from particular companies. Some of those companies are currently under class action lawsuits because what they said is, oh, you can get coverage for $9.99 per month.
$9.99.
$9.99 per month.
Okay.
What they're not telling you is it's $9.99 per month per unit per thousand.
So per thousand. So that means I would have to purchase $1,000 policy in order for it to be $9.99, and then each $1,000 policy I purchase. Okay, say I purchase $2,000.
Then you're looking at paying $9.99 times 2.
Okay. Now, $50,000 policy. $9.99 times 50. No, I have 50,000, so that's $50,000 or just 50.
So let's do some math here.
Okay.
So if you heard a TV advertisement and they say to you, you can get insurance today for $9.95 per month or $9.99 per month. Like I said, what they're not disclosing is it's $9.99 per unit per month per thousand.
Okay. So we know what the 1,000 is. That's money. So what is the unit?
So the unit is it's one.
One what?
One unit.
What is a unit?
So it's like 1,000.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So if you got 50,000 from this paid advertisement on TV,
yeah,
and you got 50,000 times $9.99. Let me make sure I got that right.
So I'm getting $50,000 of insurance, and I'm pulling up my calculator here now. Look, if anybody knows this math, call in 252-756-2008. So I'm getting 50,000 times $9.99. So then that's $499,500 that I have to pay for my premium?
Not necessarily for your premium, but remember, how long are you having to pay for that? Is the other thing.
Okay, let's say 30 years.
So let's say 30 years.
Wait a minute, that's too long. It's too long. Okay, we ain't gonna do that. Let's say
let's simplify it. Let's simplify it. So typically,
I'm thinking of a house mortgage, 30 years. Okay.
Correct. So and that's another point that I want to get to.
Okay.
So typically, I think last time we talked on the show, we talked about whole life policies that will offer you a policy, let's say they have policies now that you can pay for within 20, 25, or 30 years. The question that I asked was, does it make sense to pay for an insurance policy longer than that?
Okay.
And again, this is why these policy reviews are very critical. Now, if you have a life insurance policy, there's what's called an illustration page. On that illustration page will tell you how long you have to pay for that policy. And this is something that I go over with my clients. So this way, I want you to have a full understanding of what you have, how much you have to pay for it per month, and how long you are going to pay for it. So I make sure that's very clear.
So refresh. Let me see. What's the word I'm looking for? A whole life. That's continual pay, no cap years.
No, whole life, you're going to pay for a short period of time, but it's going to cover you for your entire life.
Okay. And it is the term that is continual.
So the term is continual.
Okay.
Now, with the term insurance, remember that after that time of that term period, you have to requalify for that term policy. Okay. So instead of you paying for it for a short period of time, after a while, it will expire. And then you have to be able to show that you are able to qualify for that policy again after that term has expired.
Okay.
Okay. So that's almost kind of like when you buy your milk at the grocery store, all right? That milk, that gallon of milk has an expiration date on it.
Okay.
Okay. Just like your term policy, it has an expiration date on it. So you're going to pay for it for that time. And then you have to be able to show that you can requalify for that same term policy. So you end up paying for it and paying for it and paying for it, depending upon the length of the term that you have it for, because you have to show that you are able to be reinsured for that particular policy. Whereas a whole life policy, if you get a whole life policy and you pay for it for 30 years, after that 30-year time frame, the policy should be paid for.
Right. Okay. Now, with the term, and we're going to go back to this $9.99, right, in a minute, because I need some clarification. And I'm pretty sure that our audience needs some clarification too.
Okay.
So with the term, we understand it will expire.
It will expire.
So with each age, will you have to go back and requalify, or say term is for 10 years, and then after the 10 years, I have to requalify?
So with term insurance, okay, term insurance can, and it has the ability to increase on you every 5 years. And the more birthdays you have,
it will increase
with
each year?
Not with each year. With there's some policies that increase within every 5-year increment based upon your birthdays. So you pay a certain amount for it. Let's say if you're 60, you have that 65th birthday, and then it's going to increase on you at a different rate. You have that 70th birthday, it increases on you at a different rate. So it increases on you within those 5-year increments.
So why is that? Now, I've heard some commercials say your benefits will never decrease, they will never increase. Come with us and da-da-da-da-da.
So they say to you that your benefits will what now?
Never increase and never decrease. Well, not increase, will never decrease. And your benefits will never decrease and your payments will never increase. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So is that true, or is it a part truth?
So that is a part truth. And again, depending upon the insurance company that you have your policy with, this is why it's very important to, number one, once you take out an insurance policy, study that illustration sheet. Okay. Look at it and see how long you have to pay for it for. Okay. And it'll tell you after a certain amount of years, if your premium is going to increase, it's not going to decrease. Now, the face amount of your policy should not decrease.
Okay.
Okay. But your payments, your monthly premiums should not increase either, which is why I tell people, study that illustration sheet. Okay. Look at it and let's look at and see what you have. Okay. It's my personal mission to be able to right the wrongs. And by that, what I mean is, I want you to understand what you're paying for, because sometimes people have a misconception as to what type of insurance policy they actually have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, look, we have like 5 minutes left in today's show. Let's go back to the $9.99.
I knew you were coming back to that, Keela. I knew you were.
A $50,000 policy. Okay. That's 50,000 units, right?
So let's look at it. Let's do some math.
Okay. So look, I have my calculator already pulled up right here.
Okay.
Okay. On my phone. So $50,000 times $9.99 is $499 and $499,000 and five. Wait a minute. Go ahead. Talk. I can't even get my stuff out right.
It blew your way, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
It absolutely. So this is why this particular company is currently under class action lawsuit in the state of North Carolina because of false advertising such as this.
But is it true though?
It's true.
It is true.
It's
so
true.
Then if I had a $50,000 policy times $9.99, which they didn't tell me, so I would end up paying $499,000 and $500. Well, I ain't said that right. 499. How do you say it? 499,500. That's it. $499,500. So I would end up having to pay that.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
So again, when you're looking at your illustration sheets, okay, and let's say your face amount of your insurance policy is for $50,000, does it make sense to you to pay more than that?
No, it doesn't.
It does not. Now, the other thing is this: if you have overpaid into a policy, do you think that insurance company is going to give your family that additional money that you paid into it?
Of course not.
That is absolutely correct.
That is how the cricket get richer and the middle class not.
Correct. That is absolutely correct. So, which is why I want to be able to make it make sense to you. Okay. So if you have a $30,000 policy, and this is why I recommend whole life policies, because you know exactly what you're getting, how long you're going to be paying for it for, and you're not going to be paying in additional premiums because you have a time frame of how long you're going to be paying for it. And that's why I wanted to make that clear. Okay. So term insurance, it is cheaper. Okay. And I understand, we meet people where they are. If that's all you can afford, great. As long as you have coverage. The part of it is that you would, unfortunately, and I hate to say this because it sounds so ugly. God, it sounds so ugly. You have to expire within that time frame of that term in order to take advantage of that.
Your life will have to expire.
Correct. To get that full amount. Does that make sense? It sounds so ugly.
It sounds like a ripoff to me. So Tissany, how can people contact you to get their existing policy reevaluated?
Yes, please, you guys. Seriously. I do a free policy review. You can contact me at 252-367-8359. You can also look me up on Facebook. My Facebook name is Tissany Campbell Atkinson, or you can look up the Insurance Gap at Facebook as well.
252-367-8359.
Correct. 252-367-8359.
All righty now. Okay, Tissany Atkinson. Well, we thank you so much for your time. We have like a minute and a half left in today's show. What is it that you would like to clarify? Like pronounce this $499,500. So I got it out. One breath at that time. $499,500. See, I know my numbers. I know how to talk, but sometimes stuff just trips me out.
And that, I could tell that really tripped you up. That really tripped you up. And that was not my intention. But I just wanted to make sense to you. So if you see these things on TV, Okay. And right now, there's a particular company that are currently under class action lawsuits. And I challenge you, look up these companies before you get involved or you start sending them your monthly premiums. Okay, because you're sending away your resources. You want to be able to get what you're paying for. That's very important because your resources are precious, right? So you want to be able to research these insurance companies. Find out who you're sending your money to. Number one, check to see if they have any class action lawsuits in the state of North Carolina. Okay.
Did you have any class action lawsuits?
I do not.
Okay.
I do
So
not.
then the best thing to do is for us to have insurance with people we know. We can see, we can reach out and touch, we can go visit them if we need to.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'll come visit you. And what I ask people is the people that you're sending your money to, are they tangible? Can you connect with them?
Right.
Can you pick up the phone and call them without having to be placed on hold for an extensive period of time?
Correct.
And then get someone that does not speak English or they don't know what you're talking about. So you want to be able to, and like I said, if anything else, please contact me to schedule that free policy review. I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all.
So we're going to let our radio audience go and we can continue this on social media. So thank you so much, Awesome Radio, for listening to The Insurance Gap with Tissany. We'll see you the next time. We are Awesome Radio.
78359, providing services to individuals and families ages 0 to 85. We educate and provide options so you can make informed decisions. We're the Insurance Gap. 252-367-8359. Thank you, the Insurance Gap, for your support. We are
8359.
Okay. And tell our audience again your social media presence.
So you can reach me on Facebook.
You can remove your mic too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because last time.
I know, right? Yeah.
Okay, so you can reach me directly on Facebook at Tissany Atkinson. You can reach me I am on IG, Tissany Atkinson, insurance broker. You can reach me at the Insurance Gap here on Facebook as well. You can reach me at my website at theinsurancegap.company, insurancegap.com. You can email me, you can contact me. I'm very tangible, you guys, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have. Okay.
So these insurance companies that are online
on TV
and on TV, online and on TV that have this class action lawsuit, isn't there a governing law against this, or government can't get to everybody, or regulations can't get to everyone?
So the insurance companies are regulated through each state. Okay, it's regulated through the North Carolina Department of Insurance here for the state of North Carolina. But you want to be able to find out, you got to be able to ask the right questions, right? And you want to be able to look up some of these insurance companies and find out what they're offering, find out who's under current class action lawsuits and what they're being sued for. Now, a lot of the companies are being sued for not paying out death benefits, not paying for death claims, which is.
Do they pay a partial or just not the full part? So what are they being sued for? Partial pay?
It just depends on the class action lawsuit. Some of them are not paying out death benefits at all, which is very disheartening to family members. And some of them are not paying, period. Some of them just say, well, hey, this is what Miss Johnson had. This is what we're going to pay you. This is what's in your family.
So what if someone who's listening, watching right now, hearing this, and they've recently gone through this situation where Big Mama or Mama had like a $7,000 policy, but she's paid in too much of that. And actually she was paying, say, 20 years, this $7,000 policy at $80 a month. We know that that's been paid over and over. But because you don't know, then the insurance policy will only pay you what that face value is, $7,000. So how will someone know to go and investigate that there has to be more than this $7,000, because Mama was paying on this for like 20 years. So how would someone start to investigate that?
So if you want to investigate that, again, you want to look at the illustration page of the insurance, okay? And you want to find out what the monthly premium is. How long did Big Mama have that policy? Number one.
Okay.
Number two, what type of policy did Big Mama have? Was it term, whole, or universal? Number three, did Big Mama take any loans against those policies? I think we touched on those a little bit last time. And then you want to find out if Big Mama took out a loan against her policy, was that loan paid for, or was Big Mama still paying on that loan for the policy?
Okay. All right. So what if it's just cut and dry? No loan.
No loan.
20-year policy.
Okay.
But they only paid out $7,000 and she has whole life.
So then the insurance company is going to pay you the face amount of that policy.
Oh, okay. So what if there was term?
If it was term, now if it's term, my question is, was there a waiting period? Did it go into full benefit?
No waiting period.
No waiting period. And it went into full benefit.
Full benefit.
So then if it was a term policy, then that term insurance company should pay out the face amount of the policy.
Still the face amount as the whole?
Because what you said was Big Mama paid on her insurance policy. There was no waiting period. Right? Now, what I would like to know is, and again, this is why we do policy review. What was the reason that the insurance company did not pay out the full amount of Big Mama's policy?
Because they were trying to keep the money.
So they didn't pay Big Mama anything? They didn't pay
they only paid the face value of $7,000 and not the full amount. Because somebody's going through this right now. Maybe I'm just saying it incorrectly, but someone right now listening to us, someone's going through this, that Big Mama or Big Daddy passed away. And they only know what the insurance, they know that they had insurance, so they contacted the insurance company. But the insurance company may only give them what they see on the policy, $7,000, but there should be more. Or the insurance company might say, well, we can't help you. We can't pay out because of one reason or another.
So let me make sure I understand this scenario correctly. Big Mama or Big Daddy had a policy and the insurance company did not pay it at all.
Well, that's another scenario. I'm confusing folks. Yeah, this is a different scenario, because my first scenario, I said whole, I had said term, and then you said, well, it's still the face value. So I'm changing it now to something else. Yeah.
Okay. If there is someone out there who's going through a situation where your loved one has passed, okay, and the insurance company did not do your loved one the due diligence, call me. Even if I didn't write the policy, I just want to make sure that your family has been taken care of, and the insurance company did what they said that they were supposed to do.
All right. So give your number out again, Tissany.
It's 252-367-8359.
All right. So Let's Talk Insurance with Tissany is every second and fourth Saturday of the month. We know it's first Saturday today, so this is a special show, first Saturday. So Tissany will be back on next Saturday, which will be the 12th.
It's 12 already.
Yeah, it will be the 12th on next Saturday at 2:00. Listen for more great information that Tissany will be sharing with us, and we'll see you the next time. God bless.